need is my King. All that I need is your righteousness. Then I'd have everything.
You said that I should not worry. You said that I should not fret. You said that I should not be concerned about my daily bread. And you said not to seek food or clothing. Never to focus on things,
but to seek first the
kingdom of God, and believe what you said. So all I need is your kingdom. All I need is mine. All that I need is my King. All that I need is your righteousness. And I'll have everything.
all that I need is your kingdom. All that I need is my King. All that I need is your righteousness. Then I'd have everything.
You said that I should not worry. You said that I should not fret. You said that I should not be concerned about my daily bread. And you said not to seek food or clothing. Never to focus on things,
but to seek first the
kingdom of God, and believe what you said. So
Hello everyone, thank you Coaches Ariel and Pressy, and I am here to introduce our guest speaker at this time here in Kingdom Talk, Philippines. He is also senior pastor of Faith City Church in Houston, Texas, an organization that has worked with thousands of people in over 25 countries, developing and training leaders and engaging both local and international communities doing social and humanitarian work. His passion is to see the church body matured through discipleship and saints fulfilling their calling and purpose. He sits on the board of several nonprofit boards as an advisor. In addition, he works with grassroots organizations that helps to mobilize the community and deal with social issues such as poverty, equality, injustice, race, and so much more. He is a servant leader who has written several books and curricula, including Dreaming to Becoming, Becoming the Best You, and Repurpose Your Pain. His books have been featured in several publications, including the Wall Street Journal, among other notable media platforms such as radio stations and podcasts. He has been highlighted for his heart and compassion toward others and his active efforts to empower others with trust, dignity, and improve quality of life. He is a humanitarian leader who personifies his books and message and is committed to helping people from all walks of life to realize their dreams. He believes there is treasure hidden in ordinary people, only valuable when discovered. As an entrepreneur, he is the CEO of Dreaming to Becoming, LLC, a successful training and development company that equips and empowers individuals and organizations to optimize their success in business and life. In addition, he trains mission-driven solopreneurs to build profitable and sustainable businesses. Hallelujah. We're going to be blessed with another powerful message from this powerful man of God. Please welcome Dr. Phinehas Kinuthia. Blessings.
Yes, hello, good evening everyone. Good evening world. Once again, this is Coach Ariel and welcome to Kingdom Talk. Today I was given an honor and privilege to have this man of God in this program, Kingdom Talk. You will be empowered by the message that he will share in this program. Let's welcome Sir Phinehas Kinuthia. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you so much. I'm blessed and honored to be part of your program and looking forward to what God will do as we connect with your audience.
Amen. So today, before we continue this program, can you give some short introduction only about yourself so that people can have more understanding about you?
Absolutely. My name is Dr. Phinehas Kinuthia, and I was born and raised in East Africa in a country called Kenya. I was born 2.8 pounds premature. I grew up with a lot of illness and chronic illness. And at the age of 14, I was actually diagnosed with 3 major illnesses that left me paralyzed on my left side. During that time, I was able to get a message by a gentleman, Dr. Miles Monroe, a good mentor of my life. He was talking about purpose by design, and it really awoken something in my heart to really understand that I have a purpose. No matter where I was born or where I was in life, I had a purpose. So that set me in motion to pursue my purpose. And for 17 years, I was looking for what my purpose is until I actually developed a proprietary system which I use to help people discover their purpose. It's called 10 Days to Purpose Challenge. So I walked them through the 10 Days to Purpose. And by the time I finish, they know without a shadow of doubt what they're called to do in life. Simply because I thought that with people going through what I went through, wasting a lot of money, I spent almost 196 hours in community college trying to find out, do I do this? Do I do that? But when I finally found out how to go about discovering, I said, I want to help others eliminate confusion, uncertainty, and find with clarity without trial and error who they were born to be. So I've worked with over 3,000 people in about 23 different countries, helping them discover their purpose. So I came to the US with $200 one-way ticket. I've been homeless. I didn't know anybody here. But my pursuit of purpose led me here. And today I have an organization that's making a difference around the world. I sit with different board members as a board members in different organizations, and currently just passionate about inspiring, encouraging, and empowering people as a repurpose coach so they can repurpose their life.
Amen. And it's very important for people to understand really God's purpose for their lives. So today, just like what I'm always saying to all my guests, this is your show. This is your program. Dominate all the sphere of influence.
And one of the things that is very pivotal is that I've learned. Actually, I just released a book called Repurpose Your Pain, you know. And in this journey of trying to pursue my purpose, I began to realize that I got to a point where people were passionate about what they were called, but they were stuck in a place of pain. They were stuck because they couldn't see themselves becoming that which I was telling them that they can be. The influence of saying, hey, this is who you were born to be. And sometimes when we're not careful, what happens is that we are defined by our pain. And so we have to shift our perspective of our pain. You know, I've gone through a lot of things, and sometimes you feel like maybe you are the mistake. Maybe you are the past. Maybe you are what you did in the past. But until your life is aligned with your purpose, everything you go through, a lot of times people think I'm going through these things. But when we align our lives with our purpose, everything we go through, whether it's traumatic, whether it's painful, all the experiences are meant to produce divine purpose. And so one of the things in influencing people and moving them towards who they're supposed to be is helping them understand, hey, what you've been through is a part of what you are meant to be in life. So this doesn't define you. You have to redefine it, and you have to identify that this is part of your journey. So I've been walking people through this process on how to repurpose their pain, how to heal from their past, transform their life, reclaim their power so they can transform their life. One of the things that I've come to realize is that our deepest life message comes out of our deepest pain. And so we have to excavate through our deepest life pain to be able to identify some of the areas that we are called to make a difference in. There's a story about this lady who started Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. I use her example a lot because she lost her child to a drunk driver, but she started an organization that is now a global organization that's making difference around the world.
Wow.
And it's impacting a lot of policies just because she experienced a painful, they say that one of the most painful things for a parent to lose their child.
Yes.
And so while she grieved, she went beyond grieving to pursue what the purpose of it was. And a lot of us, our pain is valid. In fact, Elie Wiesel says that human suffering anywhere concerns men and women everywhere. So suffering is a part of life. We're all going to go through suffering, and everyone goes through suffering differently. But the goal of suffering is not, the purpose of pain is not pain itself, but it's to awaken something greater inside of us.
Yes, that's right.
And so
that is
pain
powerful. The purpose of pain is not the pain itself, but to awaken us.
to
That is
awaken
powerful.
us. Some of thank you, and that's some of the things that people have gone through have been the catalyst that birthed them into the next season of their life. You know, pain is not really our enemy. Pain is supposed to be our ally. You know, our adversity can actually become an advantage. And so when we begin to understand that the path to greatness goes through the valley of pain and heart, then we understand that every time we're going through pain, we are moving closer towards the greatness that we were born to be and the people that we were born to be. In fact, you can never ascend the mountain of greatness until you've learned to navigate the trails and the valleys of pain. And so we have to navigate our pain. We have to go through our pain. We have to say, hey, what is the purpose of this pain? Because today's pain can be tomorrow's power when it's repurposed.
Yes.
We have to take today's pain, we have to go to repurpose it, and then tomorrow it becomes fuel. So what I'm talking to people about is how can you take what you've gone through and turn it into fuel? How can you turn it to an advantage? How can you, and the only way to begin to do that is that you have to change how you see your pain. You have to change the purpose of pain. You know, a lot of people think that pain is just, pain is there to just cause, you know, to keep you stagnant. But pain actually activates potential. Pain releases some things in you. Pain causes you to go beyond. I remember when I first lost my first job during the peak of recession in 2010, and I lost my job. It awakened me to start my business and to do the things that I'm doing. So what I want to speak to your audience this morning is to say that whatever you've been through, it can be a catalyst for change. It can be your ally. It can help you birth greatness. You just have to understand that you need to repurpose that pain so that you can go to becoming who you are meant to be.
Wow. Yes. So what people needs to do so that they can repurpose their pain?
The first thing is that we have, that's a good question, by the way. And the first thing is that a lot of people don't face their pain. They don't recognize their pain. They don't really come into term with their pain. So we have to first start by identifying the source, not the symptoms of our pain. A lot of times when you go to the doctor, I was sick a while back and I had kidney stones. And I talk about this in the book in chapter 1, which we talk about identifying the source, not the symptoms. When I was sick, I went to the doctor. I was in so much pain. Kidney stones cause a lot of pain, and I was in so much pain. And when they gave me I was waiting to be seen. It was during COVID, a lot of things going on, and for 6 hours I was in a lot of pain. And then they gave me a little pill, and they say, "Hey, you can take this as you wait to see the doctor." And that little pill basically stopped all the pain. It was a pain killer. But when the doctor came, the doctor looked at me and they did the scans, and he said, "Well, just to be safe, we're gonna do the scans and we're gonna check to make sure what's going on." Then they found out that I had kidney stone. Here's the thing: the pain was gone, but the kidney stone was still there. So meaning that if I left the hospital because the pain was gone, I would still have the problem. And what we fail to confront, we cannot conquer. What we resist persists. So what happens is a lot of people don't face their pain. They don't go through the process of identifying and knowing this is really the true root of the problem, because sometimes we are dealing with the symptoms. And if we continue to deal with the symptoms, we are not going to heal. So you have to first identify the pain. What you confront, you can conquer. So I tell the people that first we have to find what is the source of our pain. So is it abandonment? Is it rejection? Is it, because sometimes what we think is, so let's say somebody is trying to get people to, they have this compulsive need to be wanted or to be needed. Basically, their fear is a fear of abandonment or the fear of rejection. So what we have to do is to get to the root so that we can be able to heal those pockets of pain so that we can show up differently. Because if we don't heal those pockets of pain, we'll continue to just act like we're okay, but we are only mitigating the pain and not dealing with the symptoms. So it's important to understand that we have to heal those pockets of pain, and we have to know, in order to heal them, we have to confront them and be honest with ourselves concerning the pain. So the first thing we have to do is that we have to identify the root of our pain. We can't treat what we fail to identify. So a lot of times people are like, they're trying to, especially in the social media world, we are looking at what others are doing and we are trying to be like them, and instead of really identifying who we really are at the core.
That's right.
So mimicking somebody, acting like somebody does not make you that person. And so acting healed or acting whole doesn't make you whole. You have to put in the work to really get to this place of healing. And healing is not about treating the symptoms, but it's about confronting the core of the issue. So whenever we fail to identify the root cause of our pain, we spend very valuable time and resources mitigating the pain instead of advancing towards healing. So I'm managing a lot of things that we tell people not to do, like not drinking, like don't smoke, don't do this. Those things are actually coping mechanism. So you are trying to tell people not to cope with the actual pain. And so as long as you're telling them not to do those things, they're not never going to stop doing those things. Because if they stop drinking, they'll find another behavior that's a coping for them. So the issue is, what is the root of your pain? How can we get to the core of your pain? Because a lot of times the intensity of our pain is not visible. So we're going through stuff, and so we feel like because it's not visible, it must not be that big. But some people have been deeply wounded. Some people have been deeply hurt. And you have to go into the depth of finding what the root cause of your pain is. Maybe it's the divorce of your parents. Maybe it was you were abandoned as a child, and those things carry with you. Yes, rejection. And so those things carry with you. And so when you show up, you are trying to prove to yourself and the world around you that you are not that person, but that place has not been healed. So what you have to do is that you have to first identify the root cause. What's the real issue? And we cannot treat what we fail to identify. So we have to first identify, then stop medicating the symptoms and deal with the root of the issue. So we say, hey, if it's rejection, where have I been rejected? How do I become whole so that I don't have this need to always be needed or to be
Yes.
validated by people? I don't have to get people to, I don't need people to validate me. I am who I am. I think self-awareness is a very important thing. One of the things I train and work with my coaching clients is I walk with them to really identify themselves. And that goes to self-awareness. When you understand your self-worth, when you understand your ideal self, the person that you're meant to be, then you begin to understand you have weaknesses and strength. And a lot of people want to be perfect, but it's not about being perfect. It's about being whole. It's about, you can still have your weaknesses, you can still have your strengths, and you can function, because you're not called to be perfect, but you need to identify and be self-aware of who you are. And that begins by confronting some of the pain issues in your heart. Yes.
You know, I discovered some principles as I studied the life of Rahab. You know, Rahab, if people look at that woman, her life is a mess, but she became the great grandmother of our Lord Jesus Christ. And I discovered some principle about that woman, and the Lord told me that your past is not your future, your present reality is not your truth. You are who you are, not because of what people say, because of what God says.
And that's very true, because we are not a product of environment and our crisis, even though it influences us. When we were created, God created us with a purpose and in the intent. I always tell people nothing leaves heaven without an assignment. Everything that exists is proof positive of its purpose on earth. Because if you are not needed here on earth, you would not be alive today. But the fact that you have a pulse is a result of the purpose that's in you. And so when we begin to identify that we have a purpose, we have an assignment, and we begin to live our life according to that purpose, according to that assignment, then we find significance, because our significance is not in what we do, it's in who we are. Many people are trying to find themselves in what they do. This is my job. This is what I do for a living. That's not who you are. When the lights are off and everything is said and done, who are you? That's who you are. And who you are needs to be defined beyond what you have capacity for. Because let's say it's a career path or a job. When you change the job, or when you can no longer do that job, does that mean that you're no longer important? Like sometimes I see mothers define themselves by being mothers. They're raising their kids and all that. But before the kids came, you had a purpose. After the kids go, you still have a purpose. So you have to find who you are outside of what you do. And with the roles shifting and careers changing and things like today, where AI is taking over very quickly and rapidly, we got to get to a point where we ask ourselves, hey, who am I? Do I still have a sense of value? Do I have significance? Can I find fulfillment outside of all these things? Who am I? And once you discover who you are, you can live a fulfilled life, because you're living from purpose and you're living in purpose. You were born for a purpose, with a purpose, to fulfill a purpose. And so that's the whole purpose. Even of pain, we have to go back to looking at what is the purpose of this pain, because pain has a benefit. And in fact, one of the things I'll say is that pain enforces the right perspective of life. You know, pain is inevitable, but if we handle it correctly, it has this innate ability to unlock our hidden potential and power. So if we look at pain and handle it correctly, it unlocks something in us. And that's what we're talking about as we talk about repurposing our pain is, hey, pain is data. Pain informs us. Another thing that benefit of pain is that pain informs us. So we shouldn't be hasty in trying to eliminate pain and extracting before we extract the lessons of pain. You know, pain is telling you something. Pain, if you are feeling a headache, sometimes you're thinking that, man, I have this headache, I need to stop the headache. But the headache is coming because maybe you're hungry. So it's a hunger headache. And so your body is sending you signal. Pain is your way that your body is telling you, hey, there's a problem here. There's an issue you here. This is data, and you need to get to it. The other thing is that pain develops our capacity. You know, some of the situation that break our hearts actually becomes the catalyst or insight that actually open our eyes to possibilities. Because you would not, and you shared with me your story, you would not be in the position that you're in had you not taken the next step beyond where you are. And some of the most painful experiences in our life end up being the greatest assets to help us fulfilling our purpose and our assignment. So like when I lost my job, it unlocked me to write these books. It unlocked me to travel around the world and to help people. So that's what pain does. Pain births purpose. You know, your pain and assignment are never disconnected. So when I look at my pain, it will help me learn how to bridge it so I can be the person that I was meant to be. So I want to tell your audience, and I want to share with everybody listening today, is that pain actually opens your vision. Pain advances your growth. It gives you it gives you this place where you can see yourself from a different light. So if you shift your perspective of pain, if you shift how you're looking at pain, then you can begin to extract the value and the lessons of pain so that you can advance towards the person that you are meant to be. Pain is actually a tool that breaks the monotony and the continuity of life. You know, when you think about a child in the womb, a child in the womb stays in the womb for the first semester, they're okay. Second semester, they're okay. A trimester, they're okay. The third trimester, the mother starts feeling this pain, and this pain is like, it's discomfort, is like, I gotta get this thing out. And that pain is what moves the baby out of the present matrix of comfort into the present reality. And so sometimes what you're feeling, your pain, is actually pushing out your destiny. It's actually getting you out of your comfort zone. You know, you can't have growth and comfort at the same time. So when we go through pain, you have to say, you know what, this is painful, but it's pushing me towards my purpose.
That's powerful.
Yeah, thank you. And we are called to activate people and to help people to really see and to begin to identify that yes, they have potential, they have capacity, and they are not stuck. A lot of people are stuck in a traumatic event. Now, one of the things I realized with pain is that pain actually trauma in our lives. I didn't know about trauma until I really sat down with myself. I've gone through some major trials over the last 5 years, and I sat down with myself to really understand pain and to really know what am I going through. And I felt like I was losing my life. I was going through depression. I was going through a lot of things. And during this moment, I started to really go at the core. And I realized that trauma in our childhood, and trauma is anything that happens to us in a state of helplessness that influences how we show up. So it makes us feel defeated. It makes us feel so that the traumatic experience that you went through that you don't have control over, it takes over your life. It starts running your life. It conditions your brain. And so you find yourself doing things out of what the result of the trauma. It's not that you don't want to do the right things. It's that you're conditioned, your brain, trauma conditions your brain. So the way to change the effects of not doing the same thing, the reason most people are stuck, let's say they went through maybe a rape and they're stuck in that place of rape, is because their brain was wired. That situation wired their brain, and so that becomes their way of thinking. It becomes their paradigm from which they process everything. But now, in order to move beyond being stuck, you have to identify the pain, you have to acknowledge the pain, and then you have to begin to reposition your mind to think differently from the conditioning of the pain. Amen. And so that's where we're speaking to ourselves. That's where identifying who we really are at the core. That's where confessing and declaring and affirming ourselves. It begins to reprogram the mind from thinking that you're stuck, because you're not stuck. Your pain did not come to keep you in a stuck state. It came to awaken your greatness.
Amen. I remember when God saw darkness, He says, "Let there be light."
Light.
God, He speak what He wanted to manifest. So,
right.
Sometimes we saw pain, but we need to speak and to act what we wanted to manifest in our lives.
You are so right. And speaking that breathes life, and you breathe life. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. So when we speak life, when we position what we see, as far as you can see, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So as I'm thinking, I'm beginning to speaking, I'm beginning to manifest it, I'm beginning to create it, because we are called to create. God gave us a creative ability. We are gods on earth as he is in heaven. So he wants us to be on earth and take dominion. And so part of creating is speaking the outcome. Our faith is declaring, calling those things that are not as though they are. So once you identify the place of pain, start speaking your healing, start declaring, start reprogramming your brain.
Before our time is up, where they can find you?
Well, thank you so much. I'm on social media. I'm on Facebook. Just look for me at Phinehas K, and that's Phinehas K at Phinehas K. I'm on Instagram at Phinehas K as well. You can also find me on my website, dreamingtobecoming.com. And that's also where you can get a copy of this book, Repurpose Your Pain. How to heal from your past, reclaim your power, and transform your life. But you're welcome to reach me on social media platforms and to connect with me. I would love to connect with you and to be part of your journey and to help you. I do work with people, helping them discover their assignment and their purpose in life, and it will be my pleasure to work with you.
Thank you for that powerful message that you have shared in this program, and thank you for the invitation to let people connect with you. This is not the last time we will have you. This is only the beginning. Until next time, Kingdom salute to you.
Kingdom salute to you, sir. Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
You said that I should not be concerned about my daily bread. And you said not to seek food or clothing, never to focus on things,
but to seek first the
kingdom of God.